meantime, you know what I'm saying, his vice president is getting some heat right now. J.D. Vance forced to defend wife Usha against white supremacists. Senator and Vice President hopeful J.D. Vance defends his wife Usha Vance and their children against racist attacks from far-right supremacists. The Ohio senator defended his wife on ABC News this week, hosted by Jonathan Karl. Vance's comments come nearly 1 month after he joined Donald Trump's presidential ticket. Since then, his wife Usha and their 3 children have been subject to a slew of public racist attacks over their Indian heritage. Karl asked the Ohio senator about a recent attack from white supremacist and right-wing media personality Nick Fuentes. Look, my attitude to these people attacking my wife is, she's beautiful, she's smart, Vance told Karl on Sunday. What kind of man marries Usha? A very smart man and a very lucky man, importantly. He said, don't attack my wife, he continues. She's out of your league. Last month, Fuentes said Vance doesn't value his racial identity or his heritage. What kind of man marries someone named Usha? Fuentes said. J.D. Vance also has an Indian wife and a kid named Vivek. All his kids have Indian names. So it's like, what exactly are we getting here?
And this is the party that he wants to be the standard bearer for, is for this party right here. He understands what party he's in. This is the same guy with the same name, Vivek. He had the same situation happen to him. They had to show you who they were.
Yeah, one thing also I want to add to this. I hate when they're attacking what white dude is doing, and then they just throw a black dude in there to like make it like, hey, well, this black guy did this too. Because they just, out of nowhere, they're just like, Karl also asked Vance about Trump's decision to host Fuentes at his Mar-a-Lago estate in 2022. A dinner arranged and attended by rapper Ye, formerly known as Kanye West. Like, yo, what does that have to do with anything right now?
They got to throw somebody else under the bus at the same time.
Under the bus every time.
I remember when they had this interview with him, and he was like, "She's my wife. I love her." He really didn't defend his wife like strongly. To me, he seems soft and weak as it is. He has a smart mouth or whatever you want to call it. Kind of smart off, like, hey, like that type of. But you're not presidential material, man. I don't ever see you being if I've ever seen a Manchurian candidate, is this guy. He's a robot.
Donald Trump loses. But actually, I was reading some articles somewhere that were saying, like, yo, they know Donald Trump is going to leave, so they just put J.D. Vance in there because they want him to be the next guy.
Mm-hmm.
But,
because he's already paid for.
How can he defend his wife? He knows what he's running for and what the MAGA crowd is.
They pushed him into the MAGA crowd because they saw that was the movement. That's the strongest movement in from the other side. He wasn't ever going to be able to be a Democrat. The guy who, I forget the guy's name, who like Tim something or something, I can't remember his name. The billionaire guy who he gets all of his money from. He found this kid and he pushed him into being the Republican nominee. He understood he needed to go kiss the ring of Trump to even be able to win the Republican nomination. He gets him in. How do you get a person from being never even ran for public office, runs for senator, I think, in 23. I think he wins the senator, just won the senator seat in 23 or something like that. And now all of a sudden you're a vice presidential nominee.
How do you get a guy that was running a reality TV show and
say it again,
had failed businesses, and he just became president?
Say it again. It's crazy, man. He did it. I feel like he's more of a self-made person. He built himself to get to where he was at with that, because nobody thought he was ever going to win. And he spoke to the common man, not even the common man, the common Republican man, I guess you want to call it. I want to say racist, but we'll leave it at that.
When you're white in America and you're a male, the world is your oyster. You can go from a reality TV star and a failed businessman all the way to president within a couple months.
I know they were talking so bad about Barack, and Barack was actually a senator. He was like, he's only been senator for 4 years or whatever it was.
A senator. He's had law degrees, all kind of stuff.
Trust me,
I
know.
Overqualified.
Absolutely. And then they're like, Trump owned businesses. They didn't care those businesses went out of business. They didn't care that he bankrupted everything he ever had. They didn't care that his dad gave him $400 million and then he blew through all that.
Well, he was in Home Alone too.
They didn't care about any of that stuff. You know what I mean? So to me, it's a wild story. Then you look at who he picks as J.D. Vance. He understands Vance comes with baggage, especially he knowing that that's a mixed family, and they're talking about white Anglo-Saxon. You know what I mean? American, Protestant. You know what I mean?
I'm 56.2% sure Trump didn't know his wife was Indian before he selected him.
I guarantee he had to know. How wouldn't he have known that? I guarantee if his people didn't know, it's a problem.
No, they did not know. I'm 56 point. Actually, now I'm 62% guaranteed he did not know his wife was Indian.
They had to have known that right there. I'm not, because
his people knew.
Yes, and they told him about it. He didn't care. He probably got the right amount of money not to care. Like, here you go. He didn't care who was his vice president. He's like, listen, if I lose, you still gonna sign off on it? He's like, yes, okay, cool. How much money you giving me again? All right, we're good. He didn't care about that part. That part did not register to him at all. He was like, hey, who cares?
I got $5 right now. He don't even know what JD stands for.
I don't even know what JD stands for.
Me either. But I know damn well Trump don't know. Probably didn't ask him. JD, fabulous. I love the name. That's what your mother named you. Fabulous. It's a great name. He's like, no, but what is even $5 right now? Trump don't even know what JD Vance.
I don't think he does either.